aircraft. You're cleared to contact your controller, destroyer on this freak.
Laser target line 005 degrees.
They think that they can escape from the plight that they give to us, but they can't. Evil is self-destructive. The evil people will destroy one another because they can't trust one another, even though they have very brilliant schemes for installing systems that require loyalty, to the point where they can actually blackmail their own members into continuously being loyal. But the evil is continuously self-destructive. Everybody has a gun at his head, held by somebody else who also has a gun at his head, essentially, in a figurative sense, is what I'm talking about, not literally. So they're all at bay because of fear that they have of one another. The evil that they are unleash upon the world, and they think that slave labor is going to keep everybody working. Tyranny has one source of strength, which is the ability to regiment human labor through slavery. But the free society has another source of strength, which is the creative thought that comes from a free person's mind. And the stage that we are at right now is one where the creative thought of the free person is being delivered to the tyrant states, and they are becoming prosperous and dominating the world economy because they have the benefit of the creative thought that comes from the free societies. You know, if there were people running around setting buildings on fire in your community, and you call the fire department 100 times a night, the fire department would never be able to put all those fires out without going after the people that are setting the fires. Once you arrest the people that are setting the fires and make them stop setting fires, then you can return your community to normalcy. But as long as you leave them alone and let them continue to set fires, there's no way the fire department's ever going to put out all those fires. Well, I'm talking about the people who are doing this are creating tyranny step by step in our nation, taking away our rights. They're supposed to be left alone while they do that. And you're supposed to deal with the problems they're creating, but without going after them. They want us to be busy doing something else other than opposing them. If the freedom-loving people fight one another instead of those who are putting us into tyranny, then anybody can take over the country and tyranny can prevail. You know, Shakespeare actually wrote it down in a play called King Lear. There's a line in that play that says, "Be it thy policy to busy giddy minds with foreign quarrels." The tyrant on one side of the ocean tells his freedom-loving people that they're in grave danger from the tyrant on the other side of the ocean. And they all have to stand behind their country and go and fight to protect their country from that other tyrant. And so the patriotic people from both of those countries meet one another on the field of honor, and they kill one another. The freedom-loving people need to turn their attention to who's putting them in slavery, and not to think that because he speaks another language or he's on the other side of an ocean or a river or a mountain range, that he's worse than the one who's doing it to you. Well, in order to evaluate the quality of the leadership that our military has, you must first ask the question, are you evaluating their competence on the basis of what they claim their goal is, Or are you evaluating their competence on the basis of what their goal actually is? If you believe that what they say is true about their goal being to protect the health, property, and welfare of the American people, you would say they're doing a terrible job. What they are doing is pursuing an agenda, a platform, a system of goals, which does not match with that platform and agenda and system of goals that we are given, and they are accomplishing the goals that they actually are pursuing to the detriment of the goals that they claim to be pursuing, which is in and of itself all you need to know to understand that the agenda is not as they say it is. If you look at the actions and policies of American foreign policy, you would say that the people who are implementing our foreign policy strategy are stupid. They are not stupid. They are treacherous and deceitful. Their goal is actually to protect the industrial military complex, the international bankers, and they're doing exactly what they mean to do. Basically, if you look into any law book, I don't care which law book it is, it could be a local law book or a state or the federal law book, and go to the index and look up the word conspiracy. You'll find that we have hundreds of laws dealing with conspiracy. Conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit bank robbery, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, on and on and on. We acknowledge the existence of conspiracies. And there has never been a crime that was committed by more than one person that did not result from a conspiracy. So the reality of the existence of conspiracies is a given. It's a known fact. It's not open for debate. It is a known fact that has been accepted and acknowledged everywhere. So why do we acknowledge small conspiracies, but we don't acknowledge the existence of large conspiracies? We acknowledge conspiracies that are operated by stupid criminals, but we don't acknowledge the existence of conspiracies that are operated by smart criminals. See, the difference between a smart criminal and a stupid criminal. A stupid criminal makes the individual the victim of his crime. He sneaks into your house or your business when you're not there, steals your guns and your VCR and your jewelry, and runs and hopes you don't come back while he's there. A smart criminal steals the government. Then he eventually comes to your home or business when you are there, and he takes you away. These are smart criminals. They have a public relations department. And of course, right now, this conversation is already being picked up by the Department of Homeland Security and recorded. All they're doing is they are successfully monitoring the American people and destroying liberty. They're removing privacy, and they're removing freedom of speech and association and communication. And once again, their stated goal is not their actual goal. And they have already acknowledged that they are going to monitor conversations and emails and communications which express what they refer to as an inordinate concern. I don't know how much concern that is. How much concern is inordinate? When your government murders 88 men, women, and children, burns them alive, how concerned do you have to be before that would be inordinate? when they consistently pursue a plan that results in the destruction of liberty and more and more oppression over the law-abiding, peace-loving American people, but yet fail to thwart acts of terrorism, the question has to be asked, did they ever intend to thwart the terrorism? Or was the goal in reality to create a totally massive surveillance system to restrict liberty in the United States of America?